Parrot TV, the voice for
Okay, this is Parrot TV. Welcome to Parrot TV. We discuss politics. I am Robert Press, the host, and my co-hosts are Anthony Rivieccio, MBA, whatever that stands for, and Dion Powell, who survived yesterday's rain in the subways.
My suffix is MPA and Peter. You don't see it?
Okay, Dion. I'm the host. Okay, I like the flag in your background. Are you still in the Conservative Party office?
Yes, I am. Morris Park.
So you're still working for Sammy Ravello then?
That is correct. We are still going to November.
That out, so there's no problems. Anthony, are you working for anybody for the general election?
Not as of now.
No, you're not working for Misi yet?
Not yet, but of course my phone lines are always open. 347-575-5045.
Yes, and they want to know. Right, they want to know what the theme is for today for the viewers. The viewers need to know what the theme is or the focus for today is. Speak to the viewers.
This is Bronx politics, and the primary is over. As you see, my Bronx Dem shirt, because the Bronx Dems really did well in this election. In the Bronx, they took every city council position. However, there is one city council seat that could be in question, and that's the 13th council district, which the Republican got 35% 4 years ago. So we shall see. Guys, any comments on the 13th council seat? No? Anthony, you worked for the person running, one of the people running against the council, the Democratic candidate. Any comment?
I have several. In regards to the 13th, I think it's way too early to talk about Democrat versus Republican. Yes, in full disclosure, I did work for Miss Monique Johnson. Again, I worked, not our organization, myself. I was retained. I thought she did very well coming in second. I don't know if the general public obviously didn't expect her to win, but I would think it'd be safe to say that that race, if it did anything, it probably exposed some of the contenders that we are now finding out are pretenders.
Dion, any comment about the 13th?
Well, I wasn't aware that there was a controversy with the Republican Party, so you're going to have to elaborate that for the viewers and myself.
And me.
Okay, well, we know that Curtis Lewa is now the Republican candidate for mayor. And in the Bronx Republican County Organization did not support him. They supported his opponent, Fernando Mateo. So that could be some of the controversy that Mr. Rivieccio is talking about, no?
I'm not talking about any controversy. I'm not talking about any controversy.
Pardon me. You're right. It was Mr. Powell who said that. My mistake.
Right, okay. But the thing is, the question is, no fault to share. Anyway, the point is this: what does this have to do for the viewers with the Democratic primary?
Well, we're going now into the general election. The Democratic.
Okay, good. All right, now I can comment on the general election. As for the 13th, you look at this guy over there doing the Homer Simpson though. Yes, I was supporting Monique Johnson as well as John Perez, and no, that's the wrong race. But anyway, long story short, there was a lot of things in there that I was surprised at because I ran to Ruben Diaz Sr., aka the Boricua Boss Hog, and Mark Jonai at a senior center, NYCHA, over there by Middletown Road. And he actually would take Sam Ravello's flyers from Latino, basically all the seniors there, and put in Monique, tell them to vote for Fernando Cabrera, but he had no Fernando Cabrera flyers. So he spoke pure French to push me out. But yes, that has nothing to do with the fact that Monique, came in second. And
well, Dion, unless you have video of that, we can't put that on the air, really. You can say a lot of things.
Long story short, Curtis Lewa is now the Republican nominee, right? And I just read an article that Donald Trump was going to do a big fundraiser for the New York GOP. So maybe that money will trickle down to him in matching funds. And that's
going down to the Republican candidate for governor for next year. That's what it is. It's a $25,000 per couple, $5,000 For individual, if you want a photo, it's in city and state if you want to read all about it.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, we're not plugging those guys. We're plugging the
No.
New York Parrot. So the point is this: we all know, you should know, Anthony should know, Curtis Schwill should be in the room. That's what I'm saying.
Well, just so everybody knows, as a media person, and I forgot to put on my tag. All right, I was neutral in the races, and
You
my
mean flash your
comment was
shield.
it was Marjorie Velazquez's race to lose, and obviously she won it. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to the mayor's race again now. Curtis Lewa was on New York One as a commentator. He did a little part with Gersten Barrero. And will that come back to haunt him, some of the things that he said? Like, for instance, if you watched it, he used to say comments about people like Al Sharpton, about their complexion, okay? Is their protection? Do you think something like that will come back to haunt Curtis Lewa? Anthony. Are you there, Anthony?
I am here.
I'll say,
I'm trying to digest
while he digests and eats what you just said, I'll say this. The New York One wise guys, I always refer to as an inspiration for the three of us to be here. So it's good banter between him and Gersten Barrero, you know, another Latino.
Let me just correct you. It wasn't the wise guys. That was former Senator D'Amato and others who came in. This was the political rundown that he was on with Gersten Barrero. They went on to 8 subjects. He would dress up as Andrew Cuomo and call himself King Cuomo, among other things.
I don't know about that. I know it's a
exactly the reason why I was digesting it, because one didn't make sense with the other. Let me also correct you, however, because when you want to call it the wise guys, the political rundown, the political piece of bullshit, the bottom line is
You can't use that word,
people
Anthony.
that are sitting here have been out there way before Mr. Sliwa got on New York One talking his banter. Now, to answer your question directly, I would refer you to his interview in regards to Bloomberg TV yesterday, where he basically gave out his 2-part plan. Will it work? I don't know, but this is his plan. Number one, he does not believe he's a Trumpster, although he will be sold by Democrats as a Trumpster, but he believes that because of his founding of the Guardian Angels, that name recognition will allow him to go into areas where he will be labeled a Trumpster, but to be able to talk to them and get on the ground with them because of his name recognition. Will it work? I don't know.
Dion, knowing the situation of the subways right now, do you see that Slee will bring back the Guardian Angels and try and say he's the law enforcement person like he did many years ago when the city was in this type of crime situation?
That's
Dion.
his second part of his plan. So the short answer to that is yes. He announced it yesterday.
My name is Dion. Your name is Anthony. Unfortunately for us,
I know, sir, but I want to get in both parts of what my answer was.
You should have said that before, though. Okay,
He's digesting.
No,
Reader's Digest.
Should have waited a moment.
Reader's Digest. Listener's
Dion,
Digest. Anyway,
can you see the Guardian Angels back in the subways, and what do you think of it?
Well, I've seen personally the Guardian Angels in certain subways throughout the years, and I also know one personally that I work security with in one of my jobs. So yes, he also has rallies and events with the Guardian Angels throughout the 5 boroughs and beyond. It's an international organization, by the way. So yes, he will be running on that, and he said it as well, that it's an international organization with chapters around the world. So yes, that is going to be basis for his platform, and yes.
Well, it looks like it's a little too early to make any predictions. So we have to wait and see. They have debates that they're going to have to do.
No, it's not too early. We can make predictions now. I have a statement on that. I would like to say what I said to several people who asked me. I said, well, if Eric Adams goes to sleep and gun violence increases and some other controversy, and you know what I'm saying, then maybe, hopefully, I'll put hopefully that Curtis could pull a Pataki upset.
Well, Anthony, any comment?
Comment on that? Let me comment on that. I won't make any predictions, but I will tell you where I think Curtis can make Eric not sleep at night. When you look at the Guardian Angels, from anybody that's over 50, 60 years old on up. What they remember from the Guardian Angels is not Curtis Lewa. What they remember is that they're the group that took care of New York in the 1970s when the New York Police Department could not do that. That was called the wild and wacky 1970s. Have we come a long way since then? Of course we have. But a lot of people are now concerned with crime being the number one factor. Some of us older people related to the 1970s. I think if Curtis brings it back to that track, neighborhood by neighborhood, he can grab little pieces here and there.
Well, for youngins that, just turned the big 4-0 on June 12th, we remember him from the 80s and 90s, and he was the face of the operation. I'm just gonna let our host know that we might have a cameo coming in soon by the Big E.
Well, let's just hope he keeps his comments brief if he does get on. Okay, we can't.
That's your job. That's your job.
Well, I don't have the cut button in front of me, so I can't mute him. But let's move on to, is there any other real race coming up in the general election?
A major citywide race?
Any race, citywide, borough-wide.
Well,
local.
yes. Okay, good. Borough-wide, the fireworks are going to happen, as you know, in Staten Island. So I'm going to leave that there, but you stick to the Bronx. But I have a vast number. That's what the fireworks are going to be in Staten Island, I believe.
I mean, because in the Bronx, the real election is the Democratic primary.
Talking about the dead ballot monkey wrenches, right? Where again, it looks like, we can talk about who's going to win and who's going to lose. Let's talk about the system being broken and that race being just another example of what we've seen where the system is broken. That Staten Island race is all about dead dummy ballots. That's what it's about. And the Board of Elections is trying to save face by saying, oh, we caught one. So we're going to now call in the federal government. We're going to call in the Justice Department. We're going to call
I would like to add to that as well.
Dion Powel. We're going to call everybody so we can put this out of here and say it's not our fault. The bottom line is that the Board of Elections is corrupted, and until you uncorrupt it, you know what, Bob Press? You can be the next mayor.
Right. I'll add the word compromise to it as well, because let's say nepotism, cronyism, and all that's involved as well. So I add compromise to that. But it's very ironic. I just say in my post in the New York Free Thinking Democrats group on Facebook that the Board of Elections actually called the Department of Justice and the Attorney General's office. That was very ironic. Like a lot of hiccups. I won't say monkey wrenches because that's, whatever.
Well,
let's not forget, Dion. You saw it first on Northwest Bronx Democrats Facebook page.
Yeah, but there's a little problem there because, if they're going to the United States Attorney, they have to go in a Voter Rights Act borough. And there's only 3 of them. It's called the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Manhattan that are in the Voter Rights Act. Okay, so it's just a ploy, it looks like to me, by the Board of Elections, because the U.S. Attorney is not going to do anything. Well,
it'd be nice for our viewers if we could share our screen with that information. That's it, boy.
Does the Board of Elections need on their face? That's what this is all about. How much more aid can they afford to have? They got more egg on their face to make us breakfast for weeks.
Well,
this is all about trying to get rid of some of the egg on their face.
One thing everybody should know is Mike Ryan is not running the Board of Elections. Mike Ryan is home. He has cancer stage 4, I believe. So he's been out of work for months.
Richmond.
And Richmond is fired or left.
Has he resigned?
He's not there anymore. That's why somebody
resigned.
Who are you asking who resigned?
Richmond.
Has he resigned?
I believe Richmond's no longer there.
Has he resigned?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You can ask the Board of Elections.
I can't speak on that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Mr. Host, has he resigned?
I have no idea, Anthony. I have no idea on that.
Then he is in charge.
Oh, Richmond?
Then he is in charge. If you go to their website or call them right now and find out who's in charge, they will tell you Mike Ryan. So don't make any excuses.
Oh yeah, Ryan is
hoping.
Ryan is hoping to come back.
I'm at work.
Ryan is hoping to come back. Right now, his assistant is in charge.
Well, if he's hoping to come back, maybe he should take a leave of absence to get better. Has he done that?
Do you know
Has
who's
he
in
done
charge
that?
right now?
If he hasn't done that, don't defend him.
Do you know who's in charge
He
right now?
retired. He's retiring or retired. That's what the article said.
Dawn Sandow is in charge right now. Okay, she is the Republican part
That's not
of
what
the
I
Board of
asked you,
Elections.
sir. That's not what I asked you.
Let's
You
move
brought
on
up
for our
Mike
viewers.
Ryan, not me.
Yeah, let's
You
move
brought him
on,
up.
Anthony.
And all I asked you is, did he resign? Because you said he wasn't in charge.
And
I thought you
let's
said
move
Steve
on,
Richmond.
because we have a lot of races that are coming up next year. And since they moved primary day up from September to June, the calendar has been moved up by 3 months. So right now, it used to be, oh, well, we can wait till the beginning of the year, then we got to collect signatures in May and run in September. Now, you got to think right after the Democratic primary, because you got to start collecting signatures in February for the June primary. Do we see any upcoming stars in any race coming out? We have state senate.
I'll tackle that one. Any upcoming stars? Let's talk about my main man, Jamani Williams, okay? Because he was caught, filing paper. Well, upstate, let's say, wheeling and dealing, styling and
That's a
profiling.
rising star.
Whoa,
Jamani Williams is a
whoa.
rising
Hold it.
star.
I'm trying
Anthony,
to.
let him talk.
I'm trying to say he's a rising star in the sense that he's still going for the governor's mansion in Albany. So instead of lieutenant governor strategy, he switched to governor strategy. And I'll agree with press. February, Mr. Freeze, Killer Frost, COVID, nobody wants to work because of stimulus checks. It's going to be a challenge for him. Maybe Cuomo too. So if anybody objects to these two guys' petitions, it'll be interesting. 18
Anthony,
out of the 18 congressional districts, by the way, press.
how do we see the congressional districts lining up? Because there's also redistricting. And talk of AOC's district being disbanded, but I don't see that. I see a Republican district from upstate being disbanded and the fallout coming down. Okay, so I see my Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who I like, but I don't always agree with. I see her being moved into Queens only, out of the Bronx. Anything
Like
else
one way.
about?
Like in one way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let Anthony tackle this one first because I have a comment. Go ahead, Anthony.
Anthony.
I have learned through personal experience not to comment on redistricting until it happens.
Why,
Okay, well, I'll take it. Okay. Wait. Oh, well, then we'll talk about that offline. Anyway, this is what I want to say. There was an article, and I won't mention the publication or media outlet's name, but the Dominicans are up and coming community, as we know. SBI is the happiest person there is. So the Bochinche, as we Person Rivera would say, is that he is going to be an untouchable man. So let's put that out there. Someone I knew back in the day from NAACP, Mondaire Jones and Jamal Bowman, they might have to go at it as the lines are drawn up. Of course, they're going to go upstate and try to attack the Republican and remove that seat. That's strategic. But that back down to AOC and Richie Torres, people want to see them duke it out as well. So those are the two races pertaining to the Bronx, I believe, that will be highlighted as the lines are redrawn.
You're forgetting Jamal Bowman has Riverdale and Co-op City.
I said that. I said Mondaire Jones and Bowman, Jamal Bowman, they're going to put the lines in such a fashion where they would have to go at it to run for re-election and get those votes. So it's going to be blacks on blacks and Latinos, or Afro-Latinos, whatever you want to call them, against each other, as I would foresee. But Adriano Espaillat, he's untouchable at this moment, no matter how they draw the lines. Because he has a couple of Dominicans up there that I'll name names. Oswald, as we know, Feliz, Karina Sanchez. Okay, we'll throw in Victor Machado, for good luck for him as well. So, yeah, he's protected, man. And who knows who's going to attack Jose Rivera for assembly next year.
Speaking of Oswald Feliz and Karina Sanchez, they both cover Community Board 7. And we know who the district manager is there. That's Aisha Bravo, who ran against Oswald. Anthony, you live in Community Board 7. You see any problems for Aisha Bravo coming up with new members being put on that board who might want to get rid of her?
I think that's actually
Anthony?
a two-part. I think that's a two-part question because yes, they're both members of Community Board 7. They're also both members of Community Board 6, of which John Sanchez is the current chair and district manager. And
that is correct.
Sanchez came in third in his most recent race. So I think both of them will have some very interesting weeks ahead.
Well, remember, John Sanchez is a protege of, I almost forgot his name already. What was it? Michael Blake, the former assemblyman, who is still currently the vice chair of the DNC. So John could have some protection in that.
Which means nothing if Bernadette Ferrara beat him, which she did. She came in third.
Van Ness Associated. I just want to introduce the big Boricua / Italian, if you want to call him that. The big Efrain Gonzalez
Why are you
has joined us.
introducing him? I thought you said that was the host's job.
Oh, I'm going to put it on your radar. How about that?
Why are you introducing him?
No, it's up to, I introduced him last time, but he can introduce himself.
Who's the host here? I thought you said he was the host.
Yeah, I'm moderating.
He's
Okay, let's welcome Big
I'm buying, he's paying.
Well, where is he? Let's welcome him, and you got 2 seconds to talk.
Unmute yourself. Introduce yourself. Unmute yourself.
And put your camera on.
His camera's on. Unmute. I'll go ahead, Big A.
Right now, we're talking about Community Board 7 and the fallout, actually Community Board 6 and 7, and the fallout from the election against Oswald Felice, now that Oswald won and Farina Sanchez won District 14. So the two of them really control Community Board 6 and 7. So do we see any problems for those district managers coming up? Efrain?
No, I don't. I don't think that Farina Sanchez or Oswald Felice are actually very knowledgeable in how that process works. So I don't think this would be a good time, given the fact that in 2023, they're going to be added again because of reapportionment.
One second, Big E. I want to throw a monkey wrench in there. Are you a resident of that district with the community boards? Or are you a stakeholder that works there, or both?
No, I used to live in Community Board 6 by Van Ness, and Bernadette Ferrara did very well. I actually thought she was going to do very well. She had a better pull-in operation in getting prime voters from Little Italy and also Van Ness. And as for the Michael Blake factor, I think Michael Blake is a little overrated. And I think that he ascended too quick. I think he needs to pull back, and I think he needs to just build and do something that will get him the fruition that he wants. He's a nice guy.
Big
it's
E.
just that, you can't do that all
While we have you, 30 seconds, what do you see happening with reapportionment in the congressional districts? What is going to happen in the Bronx? 30 seconds.
I think that AOC's district is going to go to Queens, and I think Mondier Jones and Bowman will come in more. And I think Espaillat is going to have problems if he comes more into the Bronx, because I don't think he's a really good leader at all. And he could be challenged.
Who is going to pick up Frog's neck then? Which one of them?
I believe Mondier Jones will pick up, or Richie Torres. So that's going to be a deal that they make. But Richie Torres has a lot of ties with people in Drog's Neck. So
Bowman won't be able to get it? Bowman is below Mondier Jones, don't forget.
Yeah, but I don't know if Bowman's going to, that'll have to see what county and how they draw the lines there. But I think Richie Torres has a more of an inside track there.
I would expect that Adriano Espaillat picks up Riverdale, okay, because they're more in tune. He used to be the state senator there, if you remember, after a certain state senator named Gonzalez, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yes.
The shade of it all. Shade. Who gets that shade?
But you got to remember something, that those calls will be made and the deals will be made with Jeffrey Dinowitz and that area. Espaillat works well with them. This is going to be a funny reapportionment because we're losing a congressional seat. So regardless of whether they like it or not, it starts with District 1 and how they atone from the far reaches of Long Island. And then everybody has to just do it by committee.
Wouldn't you agree that a Republican seat will be lost, not a Democrat seat?
All eyes upstate.
But it doesn't matter. It's still going to affect Democrats. Yeah, you're right, Bob. They're going to lose a Republican seat, but it's still going to affect Democratic stronghold areas. Everybody has, your districts are going to get bigger, but I think that AOC is better off just going to Queens and let them deal with that mess down there.
So you agree with me then? That's what I said before.
7-minute warning.
Okay. Now, we only have a few minutes left, so we're going to just have it open right now. And anybody have any opinion about this past election, the general election coming up, or next year?
I want to throw a monkey wrench in there. How about this? Let's talk about the civil court judge race. Okay. We all know who was in there, and we all know who was a spoiler, and identity politics looks like it played out. So I'll just throw that out there for the big boys. Big E, Big A, Big Bob.
Anthony,
Well,
anything?
Big E first.
I like Yadira Gonzalez Taylor's showing. I know that she didn't have a huge support other than Northwest Bronx and she did very well though with the absentee ballots. And it's a lesson. I look for her to become a judge next year or the year after. A very nice woman. And Anthony, you made the right choice for her.
All right, Anthony, your
She's
opinion.
Puerto Rican too. Puerto Rican.
Anthony.
Again, and Big E, thank you. And I should again say, full disclosure, our organization supported her. I won't speak for her, but to say that I don't believe we've heard the last of her. I think.
Oh, no.
Promising.
No, I found out that the three women were very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Okay. So
they are. And I'll give you a little I irony around this whole thing. Ms. Gonzalez reached out to our organization several weeks ago and said, guys, can I hit you with an idea? And we said, what's that? And they said, well, we're thinking of tag team with Marina Powell. And my first, gut response was, why? I just thought you were, running a one-person race. Yes,
I said, worry about yourself too.
Depending on the situation.
I said she should worry about
herself. She was
herself.
very insistent upon wanting to do that because she liked her. She absolutely liked her. She met her. She felt great vibes with her. And they just tag team, and it was just ironic how it all fell out.
well, also out today, this morning, was that AOC's PAC did not do well in the election. They endorsed 6 people in the Bronx, and basically 2 won, but they were expected because they were Bronx County people, in Amanda Frias and Marjorie Velazquez. But the others, and Karina Sanchez, 3. But they had Mina Laura up in the 11th Council District, and she did the same as she did in the special election. And not only was it the AOC PAC, but it was Senator Biaggi, Senator Rivera, and Congressman Bowman that was backing this woman. I mean, any comments on that 11th Council race?
I'll lead towards that by piggybacking on Anthony's comment. Yes, Yadira Gonzalez Taylor. I told her New York Free Thinking Democrat supporter as well. I was a consultant as well, and she introduced me to Ms. Verena Powell at Aurelia Green's wake viewing. And I was like, all right, she's Black, she's a spoiler, and we already know Richard Soda behind the scenes. But I said, Yadi, you got to worry about yourself. But once again, I took on Verena Powell as a guards here.
I'm moving on to the 11th.
All right, well, let's go. Well, yes, let's go up there. Mina Laura came out of nowhere. AOC has some nerve. Biaggi has some nerve, and she lost, right? But the thing about it is, like you said, I'll give you credit where credit's due, Bob, in the sense that Marjorie Velazquez did take real estate money, and AOC still supported her, and that's a damn shame. But I will say this, AOC's days are numbered, our PAC's days are numbered, but the Democrat Socialist snakes of America, their days are numbered too, because Eric Adams is not going to have it with the city council, with those people.
Yes, you're right. And I got to tell you something. I could see a Mayor Adams appointing Yadira Gonzalez Taylor to be a judge. So there's a lot of opportunity. As for Marjorie Velazquez, you saw her true colors come out. Look, I've always been very leery of her, but I knew
He's
that
Puerto Rican too.
From the real estate,
before we leave,
I
want to get this final. Okay, Efrain, I want to get this final question in. We know that Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. endorsed Eric Adams, and word is that he's looking for a position in the Adams administration. I said to him, I see him as a deputy mayor, and when I said, he asked me, deputy mayor, which one? And I said, second deputy mayor. He said, oh, you always put me second. Why not first? Where do you guys see him, Borough President Diaz, in the Adams administration if he goes? Efrain, start with you.
I see him as a second. I never thought of him as a leader that got
Okay,
things done. I
Dion.
think he was just a go-along guy.
Dion, where do you see him in Eric Adams' administration?
TLC
Dion.
commissioner. TLC commissioner. That's what all
Anthony.
Latinos go.
Anthony,
I almost might agree with Dion, but I think the answer
Thank
is
you.
who I think the real answer is, though, as it's starting to be written in other publications, who's going to be the Latino? Some people say it's Ruben Diaz. Some people say it's Yadier Rodriguez. Some people say that it's Jose Rivera. There are a variety of people Latinos that have in the Bronx that have taken charge of this.
Let me give you a disgusting fact.
all right, we're
Let
out
me
of
give you-
time, guys.
Wait. I want to
Out
give you
of
the
time.
disgusting
I
fact.
just want to say thank you to all of you.
Wait. I want to give
And
you the
we'll
disgusting
continue
fact.
this next week.
Brooklyn has all three citywide positions. Brooklyn has all three city positions.
Is
Next-
his number one supporter. His number
Hopefully-
one supporter.
Mayors from Brooklyn.
Okay, let me just close,
Council
guys.
from
Let me
Brooklyn. Public
Okay.
advocates in Brooklyn.
close. So
Disgusting.
hopefully we can continue this next week. And
Okay.
by then, we may know some more about the Board of Elections, hopefully. And we'll be able to say what we can about the Board of Elections, how it went, where these 130,000 ballots came from, why they were counted in there, and more. And then what happened in Staten Island. Any final, guys, we'll just leave it open. Anybody, any comment about the Board of Elections?
Richmond County. Steve
Monkey
Richmond.
wrench.
Richmond County. Richmond County.
Yeah.